Welcome back to the Gun Collective. My name is John Patton. Have you ever opened your phone and seen this? Well, apparently right now that's the SS Benchmade. They have quite a mess to clean up, and this goes a little bit deeper than you might think. But before we get into that, I want to thank NeoMag for sponsoring this episode of The Fight. They make some really slick, discreet magazine holders for your spare mag, and if you use the code TGC2018, you'll get 10% off your order at theneomag.com. More on that later. Let's talk about this Benchmade thing. Why is there a dumpster fire sailing down a river, and why is it being piloted by a world-renowned knife maker, Benchmade? Last night at approximately 7 p.m. Eastern, the Oregon City Police posted this image thanking Benchmade for, quote, assisting us today by cutting up guns that are ready to be destroyed. Maybe they aren't safe to be fired anymore. Maybe they were used in a crime. Maybe they were purchased at a gun buyback by the police. Those are the things that come to mind when I think of reasons a police department might want to destroy a gun. However, I think we can all agree that in the case of destroying functional firearms simply because they were used in a crime or purchased at a gun buyback is ridiculous. The gun itself was never guilty of a crime, so why destroy it? That's like destroying a knife because you cut yourself with it. They are tools, not sentient beings. Social media lit Benchmade on fire when this image started circulating. After many spicy memes were uploaded, we were greeted with another post from the Oregon City PD attempting to explain this. The quote that matters out of this is about why the guns were destroyed. We receive guns that are turned in from community members that they no longer want the guns and want them destroyed. We also have guns that are evidence, and when a case is adjudicated, the guns are ordered by the court to be destroyed. Let's dig into this for a second. If we're taking this quote on face value, then maybe things are a little bit less horrible than some are screaming. If I took something to the police and said, please destroy my personal property for me, then I would expect it to be destroyed. The police should not be dictating what happens to your personal property after you've decided its fate, right? They are public servants and should do as requested within the law. There's also the issue of court-ordered destruction. I'm not sure what purpose that serves besides a self-indulgent feeling of doing something positive, but if it's within the law to destroy the evidence of a crime and that evidence is a firearm, should it not be destroyed? I'm legitimately asking for your opinion here. It's possible that I'm not seeing this from every angle at its core, but the reasons for destruction seem fairly standard to me. I definitely do not like seeing guns being destroyed, but this stuff is not a new practice. Now, beyond that, OCPD said that they reached out to Benchmade for assistance on this, which to me seems a bit weird. Is the police department so poor that they don't have a hacksaw or an angle grinder? It's strange that they would need assistance for that. On the surface, we have the police department destroying guns and a knife company helping them. I have so many questions about this. Like, why are they helping with this? Is this an effort to support local police? Or is this an effort to destroy guns? Or is it both? And on top of that, who told the Oregon City PD social media person that this was a good idea to post on the internet? This does not look good for anybody involved, especially Benchmade. It continues with a statement from Benchmade themselves. To simplify their comments here and condense it, Benchmade said that OCPD requested the use of equipment they possess in order to be compliant with destruction policies, and because they support the police, they agreed to let them use that equipment. They also stated that Benchmade is an unwavering supporter of both law enforcement and Second Amendment rights, which is a statement which means virtually nothing. It is a nothing response because that is what PR people are supposed to do until the public forgets about this. Seriously, that's a real technique. Vague responses that don't cause any more responses are done on purpose. I reached out to Benchmade to get a response from them, or even just have a conversation about this. I wanted to give them a fair shake on this. People were lighting them on fire, and I wanted them to have a chance to respond. My efforts to get in contact with them have fallen short, so all we have to go on is that vague, "Hey bro, we were just helping a friend. We support police and gun guys" statement that they made. And hilariously, in the midst of all this, other knife brands like SOG, Emerson, and Kai were kicking Benchmade while they were down by making comments about how they would never assist in the destruction of a gun. But get this, it goes deeper. A website called Open Secrets surfaced last night, and it contains some kind of shocking information. According to this site that is meant to be an independent resource for information on campaign finance, according to them, it turns out that for the last 3 election cycles, Benchmade has donated 100% of the money spent on lobbying on Democrats. At first, I thought to myself, okay, let's be fair about this. Maybe they're spending that money in an effort to convince those politicians to come to the side of freedom. Maybe they are doing it to help, right? Maybe they're trying to spend money on Democrats to convince, and Republicans they maybe don't have to spend that money on. In fact, it looks like they spent a good amount of that money on committees in Congress for energy and armed services. I tried to give them a benefit of the doubt, but as I dug a little deeper, I found that at least 4 of the 5 congressmen that they donated the most money to had voted repeatedly for things like magazine capacity limits, bump stock bans, and assault weapons bans. I can't make this up. I really wanted to believe that these guys are on our side, but things are starting to point heavily in the other direction. So what does all this mean? Well, I think the main issue we're dealing with here goes beyond destroyed guns. I think people feel betrayed by a brand that they trusted. Whether that is justified in their feeling or not, that's how people feel. Beyond that, a PR blunder started by a city police department has now snowballed into a complete mess that exposes a world-renowned knife makers as supporters of those that are out to stop freedom-loving Americans from exercising their rights. It doesn't change the quality of their products at all, but it definitely changes the frequency at which a lot of people are going to buy those products to absolutely never. Benchmade, if you're listening and willing, I will certainly give you the opportunity to respond to all of this in an interview here on TGC. It doesn't look good for you guys right now. It really doesn't. But if you want a platform to respond, here it is. What I want to know from those of you watching is, what do you think of all this? Do you care that Benchmade helped destroy guns? Do you care that they're donating to anti-gun politicians? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And of course, a huge thank you to our sponsor, NeoMag. I really appreciate all you guys watching, and I hope you got something out of this. If you enjoyed it, hopefully I've earned your like, comment, or subscription. Be sure to check out the description again for all the relevant links to this story. And as always, thank you all for watching. We'll see you soon.